welcome to my channel where we talk about career, mindfulness, inclusive leadership, productivity, and success. And in this video today, I will share with you 5 tips on journaling. Now, I have been journaling for years now, and I find journaling to be very effective for self-growth and self-development. I'm a big fan of journaling. In fact, in December of 2019, I published my guided journal, Fast Track Your Leadership Career, to help my audience use journaling for succeeding as a leader. This journal is aligned to my Amazon #1 bestseller book, Fast Track Your Leadership Career. I'll add the links to both the guided journal as well as a book in the comment section so that you can review it later on. Before we get started, a quick reminder to subscribe to my channel and hit on the notification bell icon to get notified every time I release a new video. So when did I first get interested in journaling? When did I start journaling? Way back when I was in school. In fact, I still have some of my journals. As I thought about doing this video for you today, I thought, well, let me go back and look at some of my old journals. And look what I found. I found this journal from 1996. Yes, 1996. And then I have this one from 1997. They're old, but still have a lot of meaning for me. And this one is the journal that I used in 2003. So it was interesting to look at these journals today and read some of the pieces and realize how I have evolved as a person over a period of time. But over years, my journaling habits have also evolved. I actually use 4 journals now for self-development, self-growth, and just to keep myself motivated. So I'm going to share those with you before we get started. I have this affirmation journal that I use every day. I try to use it every day. Now, this journal has a very special meaning to me. This might look like a simple plain book to you, but essentially, this journal was given to me as a speaker gift when I was speaking at Yelp a couple of years ago. And since then, I've been using it as my affirmation journal to keep me positive as I start my day. And when I pick up this journal, it has a very special meaning to me in the morning because it helps me realize my self-worth. It reminds me that what I have to share with my audience has meaning and is valuable to my audience. And it gives me the self-confidence that I need to keep myself positive throughout the day. So that's my daily affirmations journal. Then I have the big ideas journal. Now this is where I have my daily goals written. I have my to-do list also, but I specifically wanted to get something that was more than a to-do list for this. And this is called Big Ideas. And the reason why it's called Big Ideas is because I want to be strategic in terms of how I think about my daily goals and what I want to achieve in the day. As many of you know, I am a business leader at an edtech company. I'm actually a GM for their leadership and business vertical. So I have responsibilities on that front. I'm also a keynote speaker. I'm a LinkedIn Learning author, and I run an initiative called the Empowered Women of the World Initiative. So you can believe that my daily goals list and to-do list is huge. And that's where this journal comes in handy. Now, the third journal that I have is the Master Plan journal. And I absolutely love this journal. I go back to this journal every month to write about my successes during the month, the opportunities that are arising in terms of my speaking engagements, or the work that I'm going to do with my initiative called the Empowered Women of the World, or EVOW initiative, the podcast that I'm going to build, the videos that I'm going to do with you, and also any other opportunities that are arising. So I want to share a story with you about this Master Plan journal because this is so special to me. It was in December of 2020. I was really looking for something for 2021 to write down my monthly successes. And I wanted to basically create a master plan. And I had this word master plan in my head, and I really wanted something around it. I actually had a vision of what this journal should look like. And I was in Target shopping for Christmas gifts for everybody else. And there I saw it, and I had to get it. It just resonates so well with what I want to write in it every month. And this is a very special journal. And the fourth journal that I have is my own guided journal, the leadership journal that I use every couple of days. And this journal is special to me because the idea for this journal actually came from you, my audience. And my audience, basically, when I released my book, Fast Track Your Leadership Career, which is this one, and is available on Amazon as well, and was a #1 Amazon bestseller within 11 hours of its release. My audience, which is you, basically wanted a guided journal to help you through this template that I present in Fast Track Your Leadership Career. So I created this journal for you in December of 2019, and I have been actually using it ever since. Now, this one that I have today is an empty one because I thought I would show some of the sections to you, but I didn't want to share my personal stuff. So here it is. So this journal is actually a very strategic journal. Think of this journal as your companion in your journey to discover, visualize, and actualize your success. And it's special because while it gives you the guidelines on how to journal, it gives you enough flexibility to come back to some of the pages. These pages do not have date or time on them. These pages have just page numbers, so you can come back to it. And then there is also space for you to doodle or to draw or to create a vision board for yourself if on some days you don't feel like journaling. So again, it's a very helpful tool. I use it almost every other day, and that's what I'm going to recommend to you also. So as you know, I'm absolutely crazy about my notebooks, pencils, and pens. Each of these journals has a very, very special meaning to me. So I'll share more about these, but I have so many pens over here, different colors. Each color has a different meaning for me. It gets me so excited every time I start writing my journals. So let's get started with 5 tips. The first tip that I have for you is to start small. Remember when I showed you the 1996 and 1997 journals? That's how I started. I started with one journal. Over a period of time, as I've grown as an individual, my responsibilities have increased, and the areas in which I want to grow has changed. I have slowly evolved with multiple journals. So I started with 2 journals first. One was positive affirmations, the other one was daily goals. And then slowly I added master plan and the leadership journal to it. So start small, because when you start small, it's easier to get to the milestones as opposed to starting 4 journals and having it feel like a chore as opposed to something that gets you excited. So my first tip to you is to start small. The second tip that I have is select the right tools. So as I told you, each of my journals has a very special meaning to me. So as you're selecting your tools, your notebooks in which you're going to journal, your pens, your pencils, allow them to speak to you. Make them speak to you so that you can feel excited about picking them up and writing your journal, writing your daily thoughts or your ideas in those books. So again, if you're getting started, you're very new, this guided journal is really going to help you because it provides you the flexibility to either doodle or to write about your daily thoughts, and it gives you some ideas. So for example, there are ideas around how to think about your superpower as you're thinking about your career. There are ideas about, if you're thinking about your next job, are you thinking about what gives you happiness, and do your personal goals align with your professional goals? So there are those guardrails or those guidelines that this journal provides. As I told you, my master plan journal, I absolutely love it. It spoke to me when I saw it at Target and I had to pick it up, and I get excited when I write in this journal. So that's about the right tools. Then the next important tip that I have, which is the third tip, is to set a time to journal. Now, for me, I typically use my affirmations journal in the morning, and I want to start my day at a positive note. So that's how I want to start writing about, that's when I want to start writing about my positive affirmations. and to start thinking about, how I want to shape up my day. Daily goals, that's typically at nighttime. I like to offload all my thoughts in this daily goals for next day. And that helps me sleep better because I know that I've downloaded all the information that was in my head into this daily goals list. And then I can sleep knowing that I have a record of this, and next day morning, I can just get up and tackle this. Master plan, I revisit once a month, and my leadership journal, the guided journal that I told you about, I go back to it every 2 to 3 days to either doodle or write my ideas around my superpowers, my successes, what's resonating with my audience, what's resonating with my leaders in my company, and it helps me grow. So that's about setting the time to journal, which was my third tip. The fourth tip that I have for you, which is extremely important, is journal with intent. Now, what you don't want to do is to make the journal your daily diary, where you just recount all the events of the day. You want it to be strategic. You want to open up and talk about what you're feeling and how you're growing as an individual. And that's where I think this guided journal comes handy if you're just getting started, because it allows you to start thinking about things in a different way. Let me just read one little piece for you over here, because I think it's important for you you to think about things differently, and it'll give you some ideas. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? List the things that make you smile. Add as much detail as you want. It's okay to come back to this list at another time and add to it or elaborate. You are discovering what success means to you. So as you can see, this provides you just enough guideline to actually start thinking about what makes you happy, what gives you joy, and how you're moving forward in your journey to happiness and to your success. And then there are a bunch of empty pages where you can start writing. And this just provides you that guideline to actually journal with intent. And the fifth, and probably the most important tip that I have for you today, is to be kind to yourself. Now, remember that journaling needs to come from within. It's not a chore that you're doing every day. You're not doing it for the sake of doing it. Yes, you want to build a habit if you want to use journaling as a technique for self-development, and any habit takes about 21 days to develop. And that's why we started small. We selected the right tools. We set up time for journaling, and we know that we are journaling with intent. But there's some days when you'll get up and you'll know that you don't feel like journaling. It happens to me too. And on those days, give yourself the permission to not journal. Allow yourself to prioritize, to hear your inner voice and say, okay, today I really don't feel like journaling. Or if I'm not going to write something today, let me just doodle. What do I feel like today? Let me just cut up a few key words that resonated with me today and stick onto this guided journal where I have the space. So think about it differently, but be kind to yourself. So those are my 5 tips on how to journal. I hope you find these tips helpful to start your journaling journey, or to resume if you started journaling and then you stopped because it seemed like a chore to you. I would love to hear from you if you found these tips useful. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, now is the time to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell icon so that you can get notified every time I upload a new video. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Have a wonderful, wonderful week and keep succeeding.